Hey guys, how's it going? Hobo Yeti here, coming at you from a little patch of woods pretty close to the road. You can probably hear it in the background over there, but I'm gonna have to find a new spot here soon. This is too close to the road, and you know, the thing is, you walk a path long enough and it becomes easier to get, you know, it's visible. Nobody really comes down here, but like the other day I saw this guy on a bicycle with a trailer pulling his gear, and he, you know, as I was getting into the tent, you know, coming into my spot, I got here late, like 6:30 or something, from being out and about, and he pedaled on that way, but I guess he turned around because, like, in order to get in here, you go off the sidewalk, you go through some bushes and stuff, and you go down like a little short, you know, 3-5 foot embankment type thing, and then like right at that point, I usually take some dried sticks or whatever, and you know, because I've created a path to get through that, right? But I put sticks across it to make it. It's not really to deter anybody, but it lets me know if anybody's come or gone, right? It gives me like a heads up, and so, but that was all broken to crap yesterday, so I need to find a way to go further back here. This is just too open for me, and yeah, so that's okay. And also, I was trying to figure out like when the leaves change, turn, or whatever, and I found a for what was it, October? Yeah, I went back through my videos to see what it was, and I guess the 23rd of October last year, when I did that video, when I had moved my camp and everything like that, it was, you know, it like it was colder, chillier. The leaves were yellowish, you know, or sparse, but hadn't come completely down. I think that happens in November or so. So I've got a little bit of time to figure things out. I haven't really explored back here because it's like, it's pretty thick, and that's the perfect place, right? Because, you know, if it's pretty thick, there's no trails existing, nobody's going back there, nobody's living back there, nobody's there, but I'm going to check that out today, and we'll see how things go. Let's see. Okay, Wellbutrin's treating me just like garbage, like always. Some days up, some days down. Overall better, but like I had been on the 150 milligrams, and that was okay. It started, you know, it was only lasting for a couple of hours, and then it just decreased its value altogether, so it wasn't doing anything. So the doc put me on a 300 milligram pill. You know, it took me a couple of days to get it filled, so I was taking 2 of the 150, and the 150 are like instant release, boom, you know, but the 300 milligram is like a extended type thing throughout the day, and so you know, I kind of miss that extra hype, you know, at the beginning part of the day, but I'll get used to it, you know. It is what it is. At least the depression is at a manageable level mostly, you know. I spent all morning dealing with domain with GoDaddy. So I bought this domain 5 years worth, the hoboroad.com. I've been dealing with that. And basically I just pointed it towards the channel, right? So hoboroad.com takes you to the channel, but so I had problems with the actual Wix site, you know, after I told everybody to go there and buy my book, and I was like, I kept on looking, and it's like, you know, like 10 hours, 12 hours later, I'm like looking, and it's like nobody's bought my book, right? That was kind of daunting, but I checked it out, and there was a problem with the website, and so I was like, man, okay, this is messed up. What timing, right? And so I tried to fix it, and basically, you know, by anyway, it's not important, but I went in, so I tried to get back into GoDaddy to kind of forward Hobo Road to another, like to forward it, right, to a different domain name where I would have that link for the website, and you know, it prompted me for the first time since I've logged into it ever, for like, I would verify my email, and then it asked me for send a one-time code to a phone I no longer have. So I got to go through this verification process and all that garbage, you know. I changed the link in the in the community post, I changed it so it reflects the actual Wix site that you can go there and do it. Once I get into the library, I'll just put all that information on, like, the channel links page, whatever. But the book's cool. It's probably if I died today, not saying that I will, but if I died today, and having that book out there as sort of a, what I'm leaving behind, I could consider myself proud. I'm very happy with how it turned out. It's kind of dark. I'm actually going to read you, not me physically reading, I'm just going to, like, 11 Labs, I'll throw a little snippet in here. I think it's 7.5 minutes long, and I'll read you, I'll do the introduction and the preface, the disclaimer or whatever. But I'll get to that in a minute. Right now I'm just going to talk about my life, and stuff that's going on. But yeah, the book, I'm proud of it. It's poetic. It is not, what it is not is, it is not humorous. It's dark. It's pretty much, there's, I think 31 chapters, 31 chapters, I believe. I don't know. The Wellbutrin really messes with my head, and I have a hard time remembering simple things, specifically numbers, though. So yeah, like, each chapter covers a different topic. Each chapter is like one's on fear, one's on helplessness, one's on kindness, one's on God, one's on, there's all these different chapters, and it's equating to the stages of homelessness, which, I've kind of created, based on the stages of grief. And has all these, you just go in, you look in, and you're like, oh, this is good. I'll check this out. This resonates with me. And it's like, 1,000, 1,500 words, whatever. It's like a 5-minute read per chapter, really. But I'm proud of it. And it's not humorous. Like I said, it's dark. It's a dark place. But the thing is when you're homeless, you experience all these emotions, all of them, all 31 or whatever, in the course of a week. I would say you're always at some point in one of those roller coaster of despair, and so anyway, the book, the link is in the I'll put it probably down here, whatever, I don't know. Basically it's at lulu.com, so when you go there you buy it, and it like provided email, and then it sends you a link, and then it sends you a link, and you can download it from that link, and then you can open it up in Google Play Books, or if you have an iPhone, it'll open up in Apple Books or iBooks or whatever they call it nowadays. But you can also, once you have that file, you can download an app called 11 Reader, and basically you can add that file to it, and I think for 11 Read, I think you get like 3 or 4 hours of listening time for free per week. It resets on like Friday, I believe, and then you can choose the voice that you want to read to you, so that Audible should be doing that now. I don't know why they're not. It's kind of ridiculous, but maybe just get it, like I like listening to the Dresden Files, right? And it's got James Marsters, the guy that played Spike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he's a great narrator, and he should just put his, like, put a copyright or a trademark on his voice, and have it so it can be used with other, so people can just use that voice and then if they use his voice, maybe he gets a kickback or something. That'd be cool, right? But so far, everybody's still behind on that. People are set in their ways. Let's see. I'm doing a new format. I'm cutting back on YouTube. The thing is like my humorous videos, the slideshow stuff that I've been doing for the last 6 months or so, it's just not working. They're getting a lot of views comparatively. I'm getting more subscribers, but nobody's watching ads. And I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I don't, like, I'll watch ads if I have to, if I'm contributing, but honestly, especially some that every now and again you come across and you're like, oh, that's an interesting, I'll watch more. But for the most part, it's just whatever. So, and you know, it depends on what's, I guess, keyed to you. Because I don't think it's like, I think the ads are per the channel, but also per your account that you're, I don't know how it's done, but I'm going to stop doing them. They yes, they build, you know, 13.5 thousand subscribers, but you know, nobody's watching ads. And so, I'm not, you know, it's like, I mean, it's kind of nice. It fills my ego sort of up, knowing that something I'm putting out there, the humor that I'm putting out there is being appreciated. But, the whole point of this YouTube thing was first to be a witness, but also then to be, you know, to create some sort of income. And if it's not generating income, then, you know, I'm going to stop doing it. I'll work on other projects. And the problem with, I think, with YouTube is, it started out one thing and then changed and changed again and changed like 100 times. It's like my sandbox, right? It's like my testing ground, or has been. And, you know, and I'm still making, you know, a couple $100 a month right now, so that's good. So yeah, I'll still try to benefit from that, but it's just I'm spending way too much time. You know, 4 hours per video, 14 videos. You know, sometimes 25, 22 videos a month or something. It's like, it's a lot to just, you know, get paid like $1 an hour or something. I don't know what I'm getting paid, but whatever. So maybe, I don't know. Anyway, that's not important. But I'm going to change it. I'm going to start doing 4 videos. I'm going to put a video up every Thursday at 4 p.m. And that's it. You know, and I might throw in something new every now and again. I'll try to keep you guys, you know, but the videos aren't going to be, like, I'll do one of my, I've got a backlog of actually my funny, radio voice sort of videos, the slideshow stuff. I got a backlog of them, so I've got plenty of those to use. But I'm just going to start doing more, going back to the basics. You know, like this one here is going to be one of my mental health update, like head check. You know, or head talk, or whatever you want to call it. It's like me just talking about what's going on in my life, and then I'll do another one talking about something else, and then I even forgot, I'll do it like a gear one or a top 10 type deal, and then you know, the different things. But I'll figure it out and do one of those a week, and then that's it. And then I'm gonna start focusing on other projects, something that might generate some income. Maybe the This Is AI Generated channel, because that technically falls into the it technically falls into the thank you, Wellbutrin. It falls into a different category that is higher ad payment. So if less people are watching ads, you're still getting paid a decent amount because it's a higher bracket, right? Yeah, so the other thing is I'm concerned about is the cold. The cold is coming, and that is a little daunting. I mean, I know it's coming. It's not going to be here for a while. I wish it could be cool. We're having a scorcher today, and maybe not a scorcher for you guys, okay? But anything over 80, and I just get overheated pretty quick. And like overnight, it gets pretty chilly. But it's been getting up to 80s. Hopefully that goes away because I can't handle it anymore. Sitting in my tent, it's like I'm baking in my tent, and I've got to figure everything out. I'm not going to get that second tent this month. I'm going to, you know, I do need to get a memory foam pad, and then like contractor bags to wrap it in and duct tape it up so that it doesn't get like condensation or whatever inside. And that will keep me warm underneath me. This bag is a, I think it's a 30 degree bag. I think it's a 30 degree bag, and that works okay. But I like having a 10 degree bag with a foot box. I love having a foot box. And the thing is, I don't, you know, I just kind of drape it over me because I'm a bigger guy, and this is the new face of homelessness. Chubba, right? There's a new face of homelessness, man. You eat a lot of crap garbage that, it's not like back in the day when you had these rail thin guys, with that, it's like those rail thin guys that could eat anything, eat like 10 meals a day and still not gain weight. I'm not like that. I eat a potato chip and, so yeah, I'm a little healthy. But not healthy in a good way, but healthy looking, right? But I don't know, things are going okay, I guess. I'm a little, I am bummed about the YouTube situation, but it just, the thing I've learned while being homeless is you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to adapt to whatever situation. Like, the winter's coming, right? The cold's coming, and I have to adapt by getting, different gear. I have to move further back. It's adapting, and it is what it is. And so, same with the channel. I would love to just keep on doing videos of humorous takes, because I've got my mind is like a garbage can full of, I don't know, weird and off the cuff ideas, about homelessness or prepper, bushcrafting, the funny, just like things to see the humor in stuff out there, right? But and maybe if I was, I don't know, it's just not marketable in this sense, and so and I guess the thing is that every time I look at the channel, I'm like, okay, I've got like almost 14,000 subscribers, but nobody's really, people are watching the videos, but a lot of the people that are watching the videos are new folks, because you know how it works, right? Like somebody subscribes because they like a video, and then they go on and that video goes into their pile, right? Their pile of 1,000 subscriptions, and it gets lost in there, and so subscriptions maybe don't mean as much as they used to, but yeah, it's okay. It has been a growing experience and stuff, and like I said, I'm still gonna put content out, right? I'm still gonna put content out into the world, but I'm just gonna do it less and focus more on face-to-face stuff, and kind of share with you my life and gear and the things, the changing features of my life, depression, dealing with the cold, figuring life out, and we'll see where that goes, and maybe I'll start a new channel that is able to give me a sustainable, because right now it's like, I don't know, I've been working on this channel for like 2.5 years now, and I'm happy with the subscriber base, and I love you guys. You guys are supportive and everything. It's just, as far as a monetary thing, I think I'd be better off, maybe picking up, I don't know if I could even do that, but picking up like garbage at a Dairy Queen or something a couple of times a week. I don't think they allow that, but, because, the first time I bent over, I'd be like, oh, my knees, workers' comp. No, I'm just kidding. No, but, yeah, I'm just too old for that, I guess, or too out of shape, or too physically unfit for that. So, anyway, what I'm going to do next for you guys is, and you can, if you don't want to hear it, that's fine, but starting now, or from when I started, I think the clip is like 7.5 minutes long, and then I'm just going to end the video. So, it's basically, I'm going to do an excerpt from the book. It's going to be the disclaimer that starts in the beginning, and then it's going to be the introduction type deal, the weight of silence, and then that's it, and then yeah, that's all I got. So here goes. The weight of silence and the meaning of salt. A note before you begin. This is not a story that climbs toward light. It is a descent into darkness, into the lingering shadows most people avoid. What follows are the raw textures of homelessness, silence, hunger, fatigue, and the ache of carrying on when there is little reason to. These words do not point to rescue or redemption. They remain in the heavy present because that is the truth of the life being described. This book will not console you. It may trouble you, weary you, leave you staring at the page as though staring into a haunting memory, a desolate landscape, a barren stretch where nothing takes root. Within it are hopelessness, emptiness, fear that gnaws, despair that swells like a raging sea. Homelessness isn't surviving a passing storm with calm skies waiting afterward. It is being set adrift without oars or sail, left to the mercy of whatever weather comes. Some days are storm-tossed and violent, others are flat and airless, a blazing sun that bakes or a cold that seeps deep, but always adrift, without anchor, without reprieve. What follows is not relief, nor a turning point. There is no sudden lift, no hidden door into brighter days, only the present, heavy and unrelenting, carried forward from one page to the next. The following pages do not offer comfort. They hold only the truth, heavy and unadorned. Keep that in mind as you step inside. The weight of silence. Introduction. Silence has a way of pressing down heavier than hunger, heavier than cold. When you are homeless, the silence is not peace, it is weight. It is the air around you, thick with absence. It is the space between you and every passerby who will not meet your eyes. It drags on you day after day until you can feel it in your bones. That is why this book exists, to speak into that silence and to put shape to the weight. Homelessness is often described as a kind of grief, but it is not grief with an ending. When a loved one dies, when a relationship breaks apart, time eventually does its quiet work. The edges dull, the wounds knit over, acceptance comes, however, unevenly. But when you are homeless, the grief does not resolve. There is no finality, there is no burial, no closure. The loss stays open, raw, perpetual. It circles back on itself, looping endlessly. That is why I've drawn on the stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, and bent them into the stages of homelessness, because here, the cycle never truly closes. Here, acceptance is not a final stage. It is more of the same. I did not come to this life out of some grand decision. My story is, in many ways, ordinary. I had a fairly normal life once, a childhood, a family, a marriage. There was happiness, and there were the usual cracks that come with living. But around 40, a divorce and depression hit me hard. Major depressive disorder took the wheel, and it did not let go. I tried to patch myself back into society, tried to play the part of a man fitting in. I pretended that I was okay at friendships, pretended at being okay with belonging, but inside I knew I was only ever acting, that I was not okay. Travel became my escape. I lived in cars, moved town to town, believing that distance was healing. When one place soured, when a relationship went bad, I would simply relocate, reinvent, start again. For a while it worked. For a while I could outrun the grief, but bodies age, resources run thin. Eventually I had no car, no ability to keep running. 3 years ago I knew the game had changed. This wasn't just another round of start over, this was the beginning of the end, and so I ended up here, in a tent with severe depression, burned out from pretending, hollowed by loneliness. The silence around me grew thick. For nearly a year and a half I had almost no energy. Some days I couldn't stand, some days I couldn't think. Was it the depression itself? Seasonal affective disorder, a chemical imbalance, or was it simply life beating down one blow after another? Likely all of it, combined into a perfect storm. Either way, it pinned me under. This is why I write, because the weight of silence is not just mine. Every homeless person I've met has carried it too. At first, survival feels like an accomplishment. You're still here, still breathing, still making it through nights when it seemed you wouldn't. That feels like victory. But as the months stretch, as the years pass, survival becomes monotony. You learn what it means to be invisible. People cross the street to avoid you. Former friends quietly erase you from memory. Family can't bear the discomfort of your presence. You are left to carry the silence alone, and the weight is unbearable. For some, that silence hardens into addiction. For others, it becomes anger or numbness. For me, it was depression that sank its claws deepest. Whatever form it takes, the truth is the same. Most of us can't save ourselves anymore. We're told constantly, pick yourself up, get clean, get a job, find housing. But when you've crossed a certain line, when the body is failing, when the mind is broken, when age has caught up, the tools are gone. We know the script, but we no longer have the means to perform it. What we need is help from the outside, and too often no one is willing to walk that long road. So we live with it, on and on. When people imagine homelessness, they think first of visible things, the tent, the street corner, the worn-out coat. They do not see the emotional landscape beneath it, the grief, the repetition, the suffocating silence. They do not see how heavy it is to be unseen, how much effort it takes just to keep breathing beneath the weight of absence. This book is for those living inside that silence. You can open it anywhere, dip into any chapter, and find something that might echo your own heart. It does not need to be read in order, because grief and homelessness are not linear. They twist, they overlap, they repeat. One day might be anger, the next despair, the next denial, all over again. You can treat this book like a jukebox. Choose the track that resonates, play it, sit with it. Like a favorite song that makes you cry but still soothes you, these pages are here to let you know you are not alone in the noise of your thoughts. It is also for those on the outside, the families, the friends, the strangers, who see but do not understand. Homelessness is not only about lacking a house. It is about bearing the weight of silence, of being cut off from the chorus of ordinary life. I hope these words will offer you a window into the interior world of those you pass on the street. Maybe you will come to see not just the silence, but the storm of emotions underneath, the anger, the despair, the small flickers of hope. If nothing else, I want these words to stand as proof that silence does not have the last say. Even if society looks away, even if family retreats, even if friends vanish, the story remains. It is written in the body, in the nights endured, in the resilience that nobody sees. That story deserves to be heard. Because homelessness is not only hunger or cold, it is the constant company of grief without end. It is waking each day knowing that time will not heal this wound, and yet somehow we endure. We make small gains, baby steps, grasp at any light we can find, because even the smallest thread of hope is enough to see another day. That is the meaning of survival in this life. That is the weight of silence, and the reason I have chosen to break it with these words. Okay, wasn't that fun? Me just sitting here. I was thinking about putting up like a picture or something, or doing a slideshow, but I'm just, I just don't have the will to do that right now. So I'll just put that, me sitting here doing nothing. Maybe we can add some effects to it. I don't know, but hey guys, yeah, I'm glad you're walking this road with me. I appreciate that, and just. Stay tuned for upcoming changes, and, it's not going to be really that much different. I'm just going to do less videos, different kinds of videos, and only once a week. And then that'll give me time I still want to put out some t-shirt designs I've done, connect that and stuff like that. But other than that, and maybe I'll do an audio book and a printed version of the book. I don't know. There doesn't seem to really be any interest in it, so maybe just a few folks. We'll see. It's a lot of work on my part just for nothing really to happen. So if that's the case, at the same time, I would like a book. I think when you do it through the Lulu, like you're supposed to order like a proof to just make sure everything's right, and then then you can sell it. So maybe it'll be like one of those overtime kind of things, which, yeah. But anyway, guys, I hope your road's a good one, and if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. Peace.